Hi, George here with JustOneDram.com for episode 4 of Drink Around New York. Today I've got batch 3, bottle 32 of Industry Standard Vodka from Industry City Distillers in Brooklyn. I've got to say, this is, no joke, one of the best bottles of vodka I've ever had, if not the best. Sorry to set the tone so high right off the bat there, but this is an incredible bottle of vodka. It looks a little unorthodox, a little outside of the norm for a bottle here. It's got a big tag on here, strange shape, but it's very fitting to the people who make it and how they make it. I actually got to meet someone from their distillery probably about 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago. I guess he was from this part of New York, and he was just so happened to be in checking out Black Button Distillery the same day I went in to check it out before they were open. Had a nice talk with him. Awesome, cool guy. Even better vodka. Something I really like. Before we even get into what's in the bottle, I'm going to talk a little more about the bottle. On this tag here, I don't know if you can see it, but they give you a little piece of the distillery. That's kind of cool, I guess. I've never quite seen anything like that done before. And let's see. Tag has a cocktail recipe, information on the distillery, all of their social networking addresses, and facts about the distillery, like the last quarter from when this was printed, there were 27,465 glass bottles printed, moved in, and partially waiting to be filled. A whole crap ton of yeast cells working around the clock in their reactor room. 26,000 feet of welding wire consumed in making our production equipment, or their production equipment. And 60,000 pounds of machinery moved by hand into their shop and lab. Those are some big numbers. Anyway, they do this vodka, they make it out of sugar beets, and they use yeast they grow in their own lab, and if I understood correctly, the yeast is yeast originally used in France for beets, but they culture and grow it in their own labs there on premise. They have, I'm not fully educated on their process, but I know they make this in a very unconventional way. I've heard it described in a few different ways, but what I've heard is they have lots of little glass tubes that they run their mash through that have like yeast membranes, and it ferments in a different way, a bit quicker. And I'd love to someday head down there, check that out, learn more about it. Sounds really cool. Anyway, let's get into what's most interesting here, the spirit itself. On the nose, you get this really strong but natural sweetness. It's it's strong but very elegant, enjoyable. I'm trying to nail down exactly what it reminds me of, but it's like a very distinct sweetness that I wouldn't necessarily associate with beets, because I'm not quite a fan of eating beets, ever. no matter what. I've thrown many out when they've been served to me, unfortunately for whoever was cooking at the time. Hate to waste food, but I don't like beets. It's just very clean, almost floral, just very light. It doesn't have an overwhelming ethanol scent to it, but you can definitely tell that this is vodka. As much sweetness and the light floralness as I'm getting there, it's not so far from neutral that it's testing the edges of what vodka is or isn't. It's quite nice. The palate is just very simple in the best of ways for a vodka. It's the exact same thing that I got on the nose. That distinct sweetness, light ethanol, not so much the light floralness there, but it's just incredibly consistent, incredibly smooth, and the sweetness is enjoyable without being overbearing, and it's undoubtedly probably the smoothest vodka I've ever had. You don't get any burn from the ethanol. The alcohol's not overbearing, not getting in the way of enjoying it. It is 80 proof, so it's not higher proof, it's not a lower proof than it should be. It's right there on the 80, but it's so well refined that it doesn't taste like a lower quality vodka could. I'm not saying this is a lower quality vodka, I'm saying that if you're more accustomed to middle to lower shelf vodkas, this is leaps and bounds above it. And on the finish, there is no finish. It's so neutral and enjoyable that it's gone as soon as you finish it. Well, okay, that's not entirely fair to say. There's a very brief lingering sweetness. The same sweetness that comes through the nose, the palate, is right there on the finish as well. This is definitely a great vodka for sipping. I see no need to mix it. And as somebody who is not a big vodka drinker, that's saying a lot. I really don't drink vodka very often. I try lots of vodkas because of the nature of my job, but I don't bring too many bottles home with me. In fact, I think I might have, not including this bottle, maybe 3 bottles of vodka. It may sound like a lot of bottles to have, but when you have over 100 bottles coming in at under 3% of what you have, that's not very much. Anyway, this vodka is so good that it hasn't changed. Now, I'm not going to say it's changed me to become a vodka drinker, but I can see myself actually finishing off this bottle if I were given the time and the opportunity to do so. You can see that doing very well in a bar because it's very well done. It's neutral. It could go very well with any long drink or cocktail you can think of that's vodka based, but it makes it an incredible martini. Vodka tonic would be very good as well. Probably goes very good with a good cranberry juice. When you have a higher end spirit such as this, never skimp on your mixers or your other ingredients in a long drink or a cocktail. Make sure you're using the highest quality things. So say you were to use a high-end vodka such as this for a martini, don't use that bottom shelf $5 bottle of dry vermouth. Find something a little better because it's just an insult to the spirit that you're having. Anyway, as far as the score for this vodka, I'm going to have to say I'm torn between giving a 97 or a 98. Simply torn because I don't think I've ever given anything such a high mark. And since I'm torn between 97 and 98, we'll give it a 97.5. Nice fair compromise there. Get your hands on a bottle of this. Absolutely worth every penny. I don't care if you're not a vodka drinker. Try it. Find a way to try it. If your friend has a bottle, ask. Split a bottle with a friend who does like vodka, so you'll be able to experience it with someone who truly enjoys vodka, and you may have your mind changed as well. Excellent stuff. Probably the best vodka I've ever had. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click like on the video. Leave comments saying what you think of this bottle, what you thought of the review, what you'd like to see reviewed in the future. Facebook, Twitter, justonedram.com, all that social media nonsense. And as always, have a great day. Cheers.